The first person we're going to hear from is also from Missouri. Her son, Chloe, served 2 tours of duty in Iraq. He's an 80% disabled vet, according to the VA. And she's become a very key activist in Washington, D.C. and nationally, working to end the war. Tina Richards of our first speaker. Where'd she go?
Right here.
Tina Richards is our first speaker. Come on.
Hi, my name is Tina Richards, Grassroots America. My son and I have been fighting with the VA for a year and a half in order to get his combat-related disability papers. Within a week after he was awarded this disability, Major White called my son and threatened to have all of that taken away if he didn't agree to stop wearing portions of his uniform, as he was a member of the Operation First Casualty. And we have just fought a very long, hard fight, and my son, as a combat veteran, and even though knowing that they were taking away his First Amendment, his right to free speech, felt he didn't have the strength to battle this yet another fight after 2 tours in Iraq, coming home having to fight the VA to yet again pick up and do another fight. So he told them he would not wear his portions of his uniforms any longer in protest. He said that it was not right, it's wrong, and so today I now wear his cover that he wore through 2 tours in Iraq, and I will be wearing this until our veterans have the right to express themselves and to have their First Amendment right honored once they are in active duty. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Our next speaker is the chair of Iraq Veterans Against the War, Reppehagen.
My name is Reppehagen. I'm the chairman of the board of Iraq Veterans Against the War. Back in March 19th, on the anniversary of the war, we conducted an organized action called Operation First Casualty. It was basically a mock combat patrol through Washington, D.C., which we staged performances and encounters that we experienced in Iraq. We did detaining civilians that were volunteers. We did reacting to sniper fire and other things to help bring the war home to America so Americans can remember that the war is ongoing, that the soldiers are going through hell in Iraq right now, and that the Iraqi people are caught in an oppressive state where they don't want to be occupied. The majority of American people don't want American forces there, but we still lack representation in our elected government. So we conducted this combat patrol in which Adam Kokesh wore his uniform. And this uniform is not only a representation of the military, this is a representation that we are veterans. And this is a constant battle for veterans to be able to fight for the freedom of speech, to be able to voice our opinions. And it seems that right now, our nation would rather have a silence and not hear from the veterans. They only want us to go to war, die off camera, and not come home with an opinion, other than supporting the continuing ongoing efforts in Iraq. So there was a time when we were, Time's Life Person of the Year. We were on the front cover. And where does that respect and honor end? Does it end when we take this uniform off? We're still veterans, and we still have something to say about these things. So Iraq Veterans Against the War is going to continue to speak out. We're going to continue to speak out as veterans, and we're not going to accept any sort of silencing, any sort of threats, any sort of possible punishments that we might incur. This will not silence us, because we are an ongoing, growing movement of veterans, and we're going to stand strong, and we're going to speak out loud.
Thank you, Garrett. There are 3 people who are facing disciplinary hearing for wearing uniform at a demonstration and other offenses. Our next speaker, Liam Madden, is a member of Iraq Veterans Against the War. Not only is he facing a disciplinary proceeding for wearing a uniform, but also for making disloyal speech without a uniform on. Liam Madden.
My name is Liam Madden. I'm a co-founder of the Appeal for Redress, a campaign of active duty service members appealing to the members of Congress and the war in Iraq. Several weeks ago, I received a notification from the United States Marine Corps Mobilization Command that stated that they were trying to discharge me under other than honorable conditions for making disloyal statements. I stated that President Bush has betrayed U.S. service members, stated that the war in Iraq is a war crime, and I stated that the war in Iraq is a war of aggression. I believe that honesty is the essence of loyalty. Therefore, criticizing a president and a policy that has caused great damage to our nation is an act of patriotism and love for one's nation. The military's attempt to silence political opposition to this war is a vindictive act and waste of taxpayers' dollars. It is also an intrusion on our freedom of speech. Iraq Veterans Against War's voice is among the most important component of political discourse on the issues of war in this country. We will not be silenced. Thank you.